One.
Hello.
We're live.
We're live.
Hi.
We've done it.
We're
Hello.
so live.
We are more live than dead.
We're more definitely for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're like Plants vs. Zombies.
Whoa. I mean, I don't know if we're that alive. They use a lot of energy. They eat the sun and everything. So I don't think I have that. I don't think I'm that alive. I think I'm a little bit less. I'm maybe somewhere between a plant and a zombie.
Yeah.
Whatever that would be.
I'm like Plants vs. Zombies, but I live off of Dr. Pepper instead of the sun.
That's brilliant. That sounds so tasty. I mean, the sun doesn't sound tasty at all, so I think that yours is better. I like taste.
Maybe with some seasoning.
Seasoning? Sun with some are you like what kind of seasonings do you like to put with your sunbeams?
Oh, that's an excellent question. I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? What should I put on my sun?
You want
And not sun like as in like, oh, my son, my child son.
Child?
I mean like the sun. Like the sun.
Yeah, the one in the sky. And not the one that I threw into the sky because he's my child. Darn, this isn't getting any easier.
Yeah. I know.
The one that glows, and not the one that's glowing because
we need to start over. I've already messed up.
Oh, sunfired chilies on your sun. I like that. I'm a big fan of spicy.
Okay. You're a fan of spice.
I am a fan of spice. Turmeric. Oh, well, the sun is already yellow enough. We don't need more yellow.
I think we do need more yellow.
I mean, you can't go wrong with more yellow, let's be honest. Do you not like spice?
That is very true. No, it's just like you don't give me the vibes of someone who would like spice.
Oh, I am an spicy guy. I like the spices.
It's spicy.
Spicy. Yeah, you can ask anybody that knows me. I like spicy stuff. I put at least a medium amount of spice in almost every dish I make.
That is fair. That is fair. Good job.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because I don't know why, but I grew up with spicy foods, even though my mom and my dad both come from places that do not have spices in their foods. Like Polish and German and Irish, there's like zero spice. So I don't know how it happened, but I grew up with spicy food, so my mom was like, you gotta eat this spicy stuff so that you learn to like it. And I'm like, okay. And I did. She was smart. She was very smart.
We need to fix something with this bloodline.
Yeah, this bloodline's gone all wrong. It started from day one. Not enough spice. Yeah. Turmeric is orange. Okay, you know what, tomato? I'll agree.
Can we ban tomato?
Why? What's wrong with tomatoes? I like tomatoes. They're yummy. Ryan is a spicy kind of Oh my gosh, it's Joe. Hi, Joe.
Oh my gosh, it is Joe.
Welcome.
Ryan is a spicy guy in general. I'm sure he would be if we put some sunfire chilies on him.
That would be true. I would be very spicy to eat. Don't eat me, please. No matter how spicy or not spicy I am, cannibalism is not prohibited in these regions of the internet. If you want cannibalism, you can go to the dark web. Thank you.
You can go to Joe's server for cannibalism.
Oh, there you go. Have fun.
Yeah,
have fun with that.
Very supportive of the cannibal community.
Yeah, don't expect to last long.
Yeah.
You may get eaten. Wonderful. That's a good start to the show. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. This is the show
Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday, where we allow cannibalism sometimes.
That's right. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't eat party. Yeah, well, I guess.
Nah.
This is the show where we talk about issues, problems, struggles, whatever's going on in life, and we aim to be a friend that walks along that journey with you. Even if we can't really be there all the time, we can be there for a short moment in time that might help move you forward or through whatever you're going through. This life is full of all sorts of different encounters, both good and bad. And so it's nice to be able to work together on occasion to pull the good from the bad, or at least attempt to overcome the bad. We all have a lot of experiences, you guys in the chat, and both Cats and I here. We have a lot of experiences that we can share about our lives and how we've gotten through problems before. And so it's nice to be able to just take a moment and talk about those things and help each other out. We aren't professional psychologists or psychiatrists or anything along those lines, unless Cats, you have a profession. What is your profession?
I'm in education, but I am suicide prevention certified and first aid certified. So if you need help in any of those two areas,
There you go.
well, if you happen to need first aid like right this second, I would not recommend sending in a Don't Worry Wednesday topic. Maybe call 911. That's
That's
my
fair.
tidbit of
Very, very
wisdom
good.
for the day.
That is wise. Perfect. So suicide prevention, that's pretty good. That's good stuff. And of course, being a teacher brings along all sorts of different things. I think any fields you go into, you're going to learn a lot of things that are going to help you help other people. Because you're going to counter different things, and it's all useful. So, if you're in Australia, call 000. Thanks, Tomato. I didn't know that.
Thanks.
I had been wondering, actually, is it really 000? Because I'm like, what if things go bad? I should really know that number, and then I don't look it up.
What happens if I just like pass out and die?
Yeah, Ryan. Is it okay? Are you telling me the truth though? Is it actually 000? I need to know. If it is, that's great. I can dial that.
No, ask your wife.
I should ask my wife.
I don't think she has a reason to lie to you.
She wouldn't know. She probably wouldn't know. And I mean that genuinely, because she lived in Japan for so many years and she doesn't know very much about Australian culture or Japanese culture because of the whole time in both locations she was kind of just a shut-in. So it's I don't even know if she knows the number. I'm pretty sure I've heard of 000 down under.
She knows how to count. Can she count?
Yeah, she can count pretty high.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
We went through it.
I'm proud of her for that.
No. Yeah. Me too.
I have to practice every morning. One.
What was after that? Oh man.
What's after that?
Oh, yeah, it reminded me with something in the forest. Tree. Yeah, I think it was tree.
A tree.
And
tree.
oh man. So hard. I remember there's 2 F words in a row, but it wasn't the F word.
No F words.
Yeah. Finally made it to a Don't Worry Wednesday. Hey, welcome, Lord Noda. That's great. Yeah. Oh, hi, Katsuki. Welcome back. So, yeah, as you see,
ping in Ryan. Did we get a ping in your server?
Oh, I didn't touch it. So, feel free to. I'll take a look if you want.
I can't.
Okay, I'll take a look. Well, if you didn't, then it didn't. Here, I'll do it real quick.
Yeah, no, because I can't put anything in Steaming.
How do I? Oh my gosh, I have to navigate to like 14 different places now. Is there a?
On Ryan. Figure out the technology, Ryan.
Okay, I can do it. If I just press this button, boom. That was the right button. I did it. But now I have to press a bunch of other buttons. Hold on.
Yes.
Entertain them. By the way, welcome. Today we've got Cats instead of your ordinary Joe. Joe is far from ordinary, but just ordinary to Don't Worry Wednesday.
No, Joe's great. He's awesome.
He's super awesome. But anyways, today we don't have him. We don't have the awesome. We have the other awesome, which is Cats.
Yes.
Feel free to introduce yourself if you desire. If you don't, just do whatever you want. I don't care.
Cats has exposed me to some Vocaloid, and now there's fear in my soul. Good. You should feel fear when you're listening to a Vocaloid song. You'll be just like vibing to it, and then you look up the lyrics, and it's like some horrific plot that ends with someone dying.
That's essentially what all Vocaloid songs are. They sound happy.
Every single one of them. And then
they
like
sound
Miku's
happy.
dead or something.
But they're really dark and negative and gross.
You need to ping the roll, Ryan.
I had to do what? Oh.
It's
Who
think it's
cares?
DWW.
DWW.
I care, Ryan. I care about your stream.
Oh, I
so
was like,
much.
I was like, who's the ping? Who's the one that cares? Not who cares, as in,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm keeping you
yeah.
in check here.
That's kind of funny. I actually said who cares, like, but I didn't mean the line "who cares," like the phrase. I meant who is it that cares? Who is the one that wants the ping? It's DWW crew. That's what I'm calling the show from now on.
The Dew Crew.
The DWW.
Sounds like someone who really likes Mountain Dew. The Dew Crew.
DWW crew. I like DWW. Welcome to DWW. Today, welcome to DWW. Today we're going to be talking about who knows. By the way, we are short on topics. We have enough for this episode, but we are low, so feel free to put some topics in the chat or submit some to Don't Worry Wednesday. I'll quickly glance over. Nope, none to be processed. Okay. So, yep. Joe? No, that's not Joe. That's his cats. Joe transformed in, well...
I know. Like, Joe and I look so alike. Like, the beautiful head of hair that Joe has.
Yep.
Thank you, Maddie. I believe you go by Maddie.
I agree.
Yes, I have corrupted Ryan. Thanks for noticing.
I know, right? Hold on, I'll fix it. Oh, there's a little bit more. You're welcome.
There's a little bit more.
That's almost it. I can't control it beyond this point. There we go. I did it. We've got the full halo.
Corruption has been foiled.
Yeah.
No.
It's like when someone points out your sin and you just correct yourself. You know, that's what happened. So we're good now, guys. Thanks for getting that for me. Redemption arc. Yeah, it was some kind of arc.
Redemption arc.
Rye guy has been purified. Thank you. I feel good again. Feel like myself.
You thought I was a boy for a second. I've gotten that more than once, which is really funny.
Really? That's so unexpected. I wonder why.
I mean, I am non-binary, and I remember I was just hanging around with my younger cousins, like they were doing their whole whatever kids do, and one of them just like stops and stares at me, and they're like, "Are you boy or girl?" Like,
oh man.
I'm like,
I like children because they're just out with it. Yeah.
Oh, very true, August. I do surpass gender. I'm just
a force of
existence.
That's amazing.
A force to be reckoned with.
That's amazing. Such gender. Much wow.
Such
very
gender.
Wow.
Very so wow.
so very wow, indeed.
So
all right.
Very wow.
Are you ready for a topic? Is there anything I missed? I think we did our disclaimer. Yeah.
We did our disclaimer. Chat seems to be in a very good mood.
They are always awesome. They're always in a good mood.
I also have a notebook to write things down because I will forget if I want to bring something up. So I'm writing notes like a little therapist.
That's smart. I usually write notes in the chat and then don't press send. And then like when I have a message,
really?
Yeah, I'll cut it out and then write my message, send it, and then paste the message back into the chat. It's probably not
knowing
efficient,
my luck, I'll just like send a huge message with all of my notes.
Yeah. Maybe it isn't the best or the wisest thing to do, but I guess I live on the edge. Jeho, the land down under is lovely, and I have seen the Wiggles because I'm watching YouTube, and every once in a while the Wiggles come on as an advertisement to be like, hey, we're supporting Feed the Poor and stuff. And I'm like, cool, go, you guys are great, Wiggles.
You go, Wiggles.
And then that's that, and that's as much as I see of them. So I hope that was sufficient. Is it bad that you want to live in the USA? There's nothing bad with that. USA is great. I lived there most of my life,
Yeah.
and now I live in Australia for a moment in time. I'll probably be going back sometime later this year. It's a great place. Nothing wrong with the USA.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty wrong with USA. Hold on, let's change
Not
that.
a big fan
There's a
of the
lot.
government.
There's a lot that's wrong with the USA. But there's also a lot that's wrong with the
Yeah.
world in general and everywhere else. Everywhere has its problems. Let's just be.
It's important before you move to a country, because I noticed you mentioned Japan as well in chat.
Mm,
It's important to research their culture and to look at the country with a critical eye
mm-hmm.
instead of saying, "Oh, like this is a paradise land," which a lot of people do with Japan a lot when
Yeah,
it
that's true.
really isn't.
Yeah, that's quite true. Quite true. There's a lot. I would say it's it's really smart to look at what's the bad sides. I'll like try to find videos
Mhm.
that kind of shame Japan, because then you're going to get somewhat of a more realistic look at certain aspects that you wouldn't otherwise get, especially for like just like how they treat tourists versus how they treat themselves, or how their society looks down upon people who are standing out because that makes them look less good, or things like that. Like, it's important to look at how their culture is. Very, very important. So that's a great advice for sure. No country is perfect, so
Mm-mm.
USA is just fine if you want to live there. I'm not gonna say you'll never have a problem again, or that it's
Very true, J-Ho.
perfect. Yeah.
There's a lot of racism in Japan.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Definitely. Well, especially among the older crowd, which is what most of the population is, because they don't have babies over in Japan. Um,
Yeah.
if you like babies, don't go to Japan. Let's just say that. Okay. Anyways.
Please
Okay.
stop staying inside and watching anime, please.
Yeah, that's so funny. All right, well, let's actually do a topic now. It's 20 minutes over, so
Okay.
we're good. It's ripe. So we've got two. Both of these, I feel like Joe would be better at talking about than myself. So I'm gonna be relying on you to bring most of the meat to the table here. We've got two of them. I'm gonna ask you which one you'd rather do, and if you don't care, then I'll just pick one. But we've got two. Anonymous. They're both anonymous. One is called parent-child relationships, and the other is diet and exercise.
Ooh, I can definitely speak on parent-child relationships.
Okay, let's do that
I
one then.
like to read parenting books for fun.
Fun. Awesome. That's great. I'm gonna copy and paste this to you so that you can see it.
I can read it.
So you can read it. And then I'm going to promptly put it up on the screen for everybody else to read. All right, this is from Anonymous. It's titled Parent-Child Relationships, and it reads as follows. I want to open up to my parents, but every time I do, they mock and disapprove of my decisions, feelings, and thoughts. I just want to have a relationship with them where we can talk, and I don't want to feel like I want to avoid them. I don't want to feel like I can't tell them anything. Advice? From Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. This is a great topic, actually. Very how should I say? Very common. I think most children in the world probably have that same experience with their parents.
At some point in their life.
If, at some point in their life, if not throughout the whole life. A lot of times, those relationships never get to a point where both parties feel like they can speak openly to each other without feeling like they're going to be criticized or mocked or whatever. So I love that you bring this up, because it shows that you have potential. You have a really high potential of making that relationship happen, because most of the time, the reason it never fixes for those relationships, a lot of times those relationships never get better because neither party is interested in making them better, because of all the scars they've bore or whatever. They're like, why would I want to be friends with my mom? They were only mean to me, right? And so they don't ask these questions. So I love that you're asking these questions. I am proud of you, and I think it's awesome that you want to take up not just the challenge, but um the how, that you want to make this better, even though it's probably going to be challenging, and you might not have any ideas of where to go from here. I think that's super super amazing. And I commend you, and I think that's so awesome. Um, I've been blessed to be in a position where me and my mom have always been able to be pretty open with each other. There might have been periods where we weren't, but generally speaking, we've been very open with each other. And especially late in my later years, we can have a conversation where not only will we be listening to each other, we'll be asking each other for advice on things, which I think is a beautiful place to be. If a child can ask their parent for advice on things, that's huge. And if a parent can ask their child for advice on things, that's also huge. And so I would highly recommend pursuing what you're trying to pursue here. Keep in mind that it's not entirely up to you; it is up to the other party as well. But there are definitely things you can do to foster the movement towards the goal here. So with that said, I'm going to move it over to Katz, and as long as she's ready, I realize
Mhm.
that you're writing. I can stave off the.
Yeah, you can see that I'm writing.
Yeah, well, that's important
Taking
though.
notes for later.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay. So one of the things with the topic is it doesn't really go into specifics, so I
Correct.
apologize in advance if I'm kind of vague and like I don't know your situation. I don't know like your precise relationship with your parents, but I definitely do understand the struggle a whole lot. um
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to gender and romantic identity, where I've been invalidated several times by one of my parents who just does not, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist to her.
Mm.
And same with mental health troubles. Um, just knowing this base information, I would definitely recommend like sitting down and saying, "Hey, can we have like a serious discussion like about this specifically?" So you can, set boundaries, say, "Hey, I want to like talk to you more." Um, but also you have to be wary of how your parents are because like for example, my mom, she tends to pivot if I bring up something she doesn't want to talk about, where I'll be like, "Hey, you said so and so, and like that really hurt my feelings." And then she'll just like pivot to something else, be like, "Oh, hey, is that like a new outfit? I like your new outfit." And then
Mm-hmm.
she'll insist on that pivot,
Mm-hmm.
which sucks, but what can you do? And then I also said if your parents happen to be have a physical reaction if you bring this kind of stuff up, it might not be a good idea to bring that stuff up because I've had friends where if they speak up about their emotions or like try to criticize their parents, that's just like an automatic right to the face,
Mm.
which is awful. And like I said, I don't want to make assumptions about your parents. I'm just bringing examples of what I have seen
Mm-hmm.
and how those interactions have gone. Another piece of advice I have is maybe taking interest in their issues as well. Lend them your listening ear to see, hey, I really care about your issues. Can we get that same treat? Ooh, can I get that same treatment in return? Which, in ideal world, they would. They might understand. Oh, so like this is what my child wants. This is how they want to interact with me. These are the kind of conversations they want to have. But unfortunately, like Ryan said, sometimes that's just not possible. And some parents are very stuck in their ways.
Mm-hmm.
But irregardless of all that, I definitely say you need to just at least sit down and try. Unless you think you're in immediate danger, I honestly would not recommend if you do feel like you'd be in danger if you did bring this up. But just sit down, have an honest conversation with them. And that is my tidbit for now.
Nice. Yeah, very very well said. I think and it's an important I guess disclosure right to start off with, because yeah, absolutely. You don't know how your parents are going to react because we don't know them. So it is important to pay attention to your parents' language, their body language, and their spoken language, if they're really shifty or not. That's very well said. And I was thinking tactically, there are certain things you can do to encourage or to reinforce certain behaviors in your parents. This is kind of getting down the line of some, how do you say, some social engineering tactics, and I don't necessarily recommend using them. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. So I mean, there's lots of books on how to sort of manipulate people, and I don't think it's good a lot of times, but it can be somewhat good in terms of, for example, if you know how your parents, if you know what makes your parents feel loved, right? You can do those things and make them feel more loved. Like, that's awesome. If you know how your parents act, you can try to get on the same level, the same energy level as them, and it helps them sort of helps the interactions and the engagements go better. So, like, if you know your mom is a really outgoing and excitable, if you reverberate that same kind of energy, she's going to feel closer to you, which is going to make her more open with you, right? But if you're not trained in how to do that, it's not easy. It takes some practice, and it's not necessarily what you're trying to get out of this. So my point is, there are things you can look up. There are things you can do to become better at interacting with your parents so that they see you as a person more, want to engage with you more. And part of it is them wanting to engage with you, right? If they want to engage with you more, if they want to pick at your mind in a good way, like, oh, what is he thinking, or what is she thinking? You know, what are they, what's on their mind, right? If you can encourage those thoughts, that's great. And some of that is sort of getting close to them. And so there are definitely tools you can use. You can probably find online social engineering stuff that helps you better engage with people, so that they're more willing or more desiring to be open with you. That's great. You can look those things up. An easy one I would trust and recommend is there's some books out there. Joe would be willing to recommend them if he was here. But I'll just go ahead and recommend, there's oh shoot, I can't remember the name of the books. How to Make Friends and Influence People is one of the books. And then the other one I can't remember right now. Joe would remember. But anyways, that book in specific talks about someone who has had basically no people skills. There we go. Someone who doesn't really have very, very good people skills, and taught himself people skills and how to better interact with people. Haley says my brother loves that book. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Thank you. That's okay. That's the one I said. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Yeah. The other one I can't remember the name of right now, but I would highly recommend reading that book. It will at least give you the ability to have confidence. How to have confidence, and there's another one I can't remember. Anyways, it'll give you at least the confidence of approaching your parents and approaching strangers and approaching people you know, and being able to heighten your relationships and experiences with them, to better communicate with them so that you don't cause problems. Better communication skills that will help elevate your relationships, obviously, but also take you away from the problems that might be occurring in your relationships, as far as lack of respect from both parties, or misunderstandings, and then how to deal with misunderstandings. There's all sorts of different skills that can be learned. How to have confidence and power in dealing with people. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. I'm so glad. It was on the tip of my tongue. All right. Thank you. Awesome. So those two books I would highly recommend. Like, are they going to make your parents respect you? Probably not, because obviously you need to enact something into the world. And it's partially dependent upon your parents. But there are definitely things you can put, definitely things you can say, definitely ways you can interact with people that help this problem. And so this is what I'm going to say now. The best way I know, personally, to lead towards the relationship that you desire, where you can open up to your parents and not get mocked or just experience their disapproval or whatever, is to develop respect. And that's the thing that's missing from your current relationship with them, is they don't respect you. And that's common for parents and children. Parents don't usually respect their children because they're their children. It's like, I'm older than you. I brought you into this world. I know more what's going on. You don't. You're influenced by XYZ of your generation. I'm not. And so there's always going to be, well, not always. There's a lot of parents out there who are going to look at their children and say, well, I'm smarter than them. I have no reason that I need to respect them on an intellectual level, right? What you need to do is bypass that thought. You need to prove, but not prove like, I showed you, but like, you need to, in your actions, in your words, and in the way you interact with them, just basically prove that you ought to be respected. And that doesn't come through trying to impress them. At least maybe some impression is important, but I mean, it's not by trying to like outsmart them. Because if you outsmart them, what's that going to do? If they have low respect for you and then you outsmart them, that's just going to make them hate you. That's not going to make them respect you. That's just going to make them get angry at you and upset at you and disapprove of you even more. So it's important to not try to prove them wrong and not try to show them that you're right where they're wrong. One of the best things you can do, and I know this is absurd, but it's reality. One of the best things you can do is tell them that they're very smart and that they're very intelligent. Thank them for their wisdom, and do those kinds of things that affirm them and in the areas that you wish to be affirmed, right? Don't combat them in the area you're looking to be affirmed. Affirm them in those areas. Why? Because what's going to happen is a little bit of mental gymnastics, but what's going to happen is they're going to look at you and go, wow, they must be really smart because they think I'm smart. They think I'm smart, which means they're really smart, right? It seems silly, but that's how a lot of people are. If I have an interaction with anybody online or in real life, and they tell me a story, and I affirm genuinely, and I genuinely affirm them in that story, like, wow, that was really incredible of you to think of that solution, or that was smart, whatever. What's going to happen is they're going to respect me. Even though all I did was tell them that they were smart. They're going to have a respect for me now because I've lifted them up, and I've shown them something that I agree with what they did. And that's going to prove that I'm smart, right? Kind of silly, but it's also really nice. I mean, it's nice to give compliments to people. It's very kind to give compliments to people. Now, do I expect this to just, if you do that one time, all of a sudden your relationship's going to be fixed? No. No, it takes a lot of opening up to allow for opening up to happen. So, the first kind of huge wall in your way right now is respect. And the second huge wall in your way is what I want to say is conformity slash um, just habits, tradition, right? And so in families, we have a tradition in the way we treat each other, the way we act around each other, right? That happens with your friend groups too. You might act one way with one set of friends and another way with another set of friends, right? That's normal. But that's just how we are. We behave in these habits. Around certain people, certain parts of our brains flare up and we have certain personalities. And so kind of knocking down that wall is going to be a long journey. It's going to be even longer than the journey to respect, because you're overcoming a lot of the habits of how you guys treat each other, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And if you can get on the page, if you can get everybody on the page of, like, if you can sit people down and say, like, what do we want out of our relationship? We want the best, right? We want to be happy. So let's all aim together to stop doing the things that are making us unhappy and start doing the things that are actually making us happy, right? And I know that's a hard thing to do, but if you can actually have that conversation with somebody, it will start to change how you treat each other. And that's kind of what's in need here, because if you are already experiencing them mocking you and so on and so forth, that's going to continue to happen even if you gain their respect. Just out of sheer habit, out of principle of, hey, something went wrong with them that day and they need a little self-affirmation, so they're going to make fun of you and that's going to make them feel better, right? Not healthy at all, right? And so to pull into mind those things of, like, where you kind of just have that open discussion of, like, hey, I want to be clear. I just want to be happy, and I want you guys to be happy. And I think that that's important. I think if you were able to set your parents down and just say, hey guys, I want you to be happy, genuinely, that's huge. That'd make a huge difference. And just that line makes a huge difference in the tone and that you speak to each other with. And it sets the whole conversation forward. So you can say, hey, I want you guys to be so happy. I just want you guys to be happy. I want this to be a happy family. And then you can kind of go anywhere from there. Don't make it a but statement. But I want you guys to be happy, but you're kind of ruining my life. You don't want to do that, but you want to just be able to sit them down and be like, I want you guys to be happy. What can we do to make our relationships better? So that I'm not, because I feel like I'm in your guys' way. And that's not a good feeling. And I'm probably not, but it's kind of how I feel. Or however you want to say it, right? And that will put the conversation, that will move the conversation in the right direction. And that's important. How you lead that conversation. You don't ever want to be in a conversation with somebody where you force them on the defensive. If you're offensive, they have to be defensive. And when someone gets into a defensive stance, their mind is made up. They are never changing. No matter what argument you throw at them, they're defensive all the way. They're never going to change their mind on anything. And they're going to be defensive the whole way through. And the defensive is going to be very mean and cruel to you. So if you ever have a conversation with your parents, as you're trying to open up to them, as you're trying to get your relationships moving forward so you can have respect for one another, so you can actually just be like, hey, I need some advice here. What do you have? And they come to you for the same thing. Or be like, hey, I want to have an open conversation to you about this kind of topic because I'm not sure where to stand on it, and you guys can talk it out. Like that'd be a lovely, lovely position to be in, right? And if you ever want to get there, I think developing those skills of making sure you never put anybody on the defensive allows them to be free to open up because they have nothing to defend, right? And so learning how to speak to people that way is really important, and it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of practice. And I don't know where to get that practice from other than I was lucky enough to get it online by talking to people enough, and in the real world, and just trying things out with a mentality of just like, I want to love this person. I want this person to be happy. And how do I talk to them to best avoid putting them on the defensive? Because sometimes people can disagree with you, but you don't have to argue with them. They can disagree with you, and you can just take what they say and just talk it out. Like, there are times where my mom would say, "Hey, you're going down the wrong path," etc., and I can be like, "Well, let's talk about that." And then we would talk about it and put our points forward and just respect each other in that, and then come to a conclusion together. And even if we come to different conclusions, it's okay, because at least we talked about it rather than just being held up and not doing anything, right? And so I would recommend um, trying to learn how to, again, keep people off of the defensive. Especially if they start to get offensive, you don't have to like retaliate or defend yourself, right? The point is to foster a relationship that's healthy and good, and that's not going to be all smooth roads. It's going to be rocky, hilly roads that are very bumpy getting there. And so just understand that going in. But a lot of people have said a lot of good stuff in the chat, and I'm going to stop speaking so that someone else can take the spotlight for a little while. I'm going to give it back over to you, Cats, if you're good for that.
Yeah, I have a few things.
Lovely.
Okay. I lost my page for a second.
Yeah, that's okay. By the way, I just
So
want to say once again, Anonymous, if you're here in the chat or if you're watching later, definitely read what's going on in the chat, because a lot of people have really good stuff to say. There are people who relate to you.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a lot of these people say, oh, that hits home for them. So they might have some good things to avoid, as well as some good things to pull into action. So, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna echo you in wanting to engage with them, genuinely showing interest in them,
Mm-hmm.
because you're kind of modeling that behavior where it's like, hey, this is the kind of relationship I want. I'm giving you this respect. Can I receive this respect in return? At the same time, Jeho was pointing out in chat the social hierarchy of a
Mm-hmm.
parent-child relationship, where there's parents who genuinely believe, "Oh, this is my child. This child is my property," which, ew,
Yes.
yuck, red flag. Um, and they, and like Ryan was saying, they believe they have an upper hand over you, that they know more than you or their children, and sometimes they're stuck in that way,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. And I know plenty of parents like that. I've encountered several. Oh, I almost forgot my other thing. With the wanting to engage with them where you take interest in what they're saying, what they're going through, it's important to be consistent as well. Because you don't want to just like out of nowhere suddenly like take a whole bunch of concern in this and then the next day you're like, okay, I did my what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna move on now and hope they get the message. No, you need to be consistent, which that goes for any relationship you're in, whether it's your family relationship, a platonic relationship, a romantic relationship. Your behavior should be consistent and not just because you want something out of it for just a moment. Um, and going back to what I was saying with the social hierarchy and how some parents they're stuck in how they view their children. And if your parents happen to be one of those parents, I just want to let you know it's going to be okay. Like, even if they don't listen to you, uh, well, it's a situation that I'm stuck in as well. So this kind of resounds, and this is my advice to you that it's gonna be okay. You may never have that relationship you wanted, but you're going to live. Life is gonna keep going on. And I, di- I can't speak on how far down the line this goes because, like, I'm 23. I still have a lot of life ahead of me. And, I'm still in the same house as my parent. And so this is definitely something that still sticks with me. And honestly, I'm taking note of advice in the chat. So I'm like, maybe I should try what chat is saying as well because
Mm.
God knows I'm struggling with this as well. But even if it doesn't work out the way you want, it's going to be okay. You will live, you will survive, it'll work out, even if it's not in the way you hoped it would work out. And those are the big points I got. I know I don't talk as long as Ryan or
It's
Joe,
okay.
but
You don't need to. I
I'm
think
straight to the point. I'm
you're
to the
quick.
point.
Yes, and I like that. I think that's important. I like that. I absolutely agree with that. And to that point, Super Neon Blue, my wife, is also contributing to this in a good way. And knowing her parents on a personal level, I think it's definitely what she has to say is important. I'm going to just quickly read something she said, which is, let me find it real quick. Also, sometimes people just don't know how to act. It's understandable to believe that you have some kind of control over how others view you, but how other people treat you is their choice ultimately. And she also said another thing in lines with that. Continuing, I gotta find it. I can't find it, but it doesn't matter. It's important to recognize that some people don't have social skills, and how they treat you might actually just be how they treat themselves and how they treat others and how they treat all of their family. Respect isn't inherent. It isn't just in all of us. Respect isn't gained. People say respect is gained, but that's actually not true. Respect is a skill that is learned. And it is contagious, but is a skill that is learned and taught. But it is not gained. Everyone says that respect should be gained, but it cannot be gained. Because you cannot gain respect from someone who doesn't know how to respect others, right? So respect isn't gained, it is learned, it is taught, it is a skill. And so when you are trying to get the respect of others, you have to show that respect first. And that's hard. Super Neon Blue said, I can't find it, but whatever, it's okay. She said to accept who they are first. Accept who they are. I know what you want from them is for them to change so that they can treat you how you wish to be treated, and so that they can accept who you are. And I know you might think, well, I already accept who they are, they're just not accepting who I am. Maybe that's your case, maybe you're not in that boat. But it is important, whether you are doing this or not already, it is important to accept who they are and recognize they might never change. It's much easier to come to the conclusion, or it's much easier to live in a world where you just accept who they are and recognize, like, that's who they're going to be. Some things are going to work, some things aren't. They might change their behavior for a time, they might go back. They might change their behavior completely, but wherever they are on their journey, accept them for who they are, where they are right now. And love them there. Love them unconditionally. Because if we love conditionally, like, oh, I'll love them if they love me back first, I guess, whatever. I'll love them if they respect me. I'll love them if they listen to me, right? I'm not saying that's your position, by the way, Anonymous. I wouldn't assume that of you. But if we do incorporate that into the way we interact and think about people, then we're going to find ourselves, it's constantly taxing on our souls. Because, like, why won't they treat me this way? You know, blah, blah, blah. It's, like, constantly taxing. So if we can just learn to accept them for who they are and recognize, like, they're not perfect people, that's so much easier. And it allows us to actually make headway, because then we can love them where they're at and approach them where they're at. It's funny, I'm going to do a little bit of a role reversal, but when you have a child and you have a parent and the child is having fun playing with their toys, the parent has no interest in those toys whatsoever. But because of their interest in that child, they will come down to the child's level and play with those toys with them, to make them happy, to just engage with them, right? And that's a beautiful thing. And that is an example of accepting someone where they are, right? Because the child is a child, you know that. You can't expect them to come up to your level and be like, you know what's actually fun? Whatever you're doing is not, by the way. This is actually fun. Let's do some math, you know, or whatever. And the child's like 3. It's like, You know, they're not going to enjoy the same things as you. And no, and everybody has different enjoyments, right? I mean, it's not just enjoyments that make someone who they are, but there's all sorts of different things. So to come to their level, and that doesn't mean like they're up here and you have to come up here, or they're down here. I wouldn't put your parents below you. Just go to wherever they're at. If you have a relationship where you're not responsive to where other people are at, it makes the relationships incredibly distant and unable to be penetrated whatsoever. Like it's unmoving. And so like just recognizing like, oh, my mom's having a bad day today, or my dad's having a bad day today. What do I do in that circumstance? I should go to their level. And I know that sounds awful, but if you meet them where they're at in their bad day, they will love you for that. They will appreciate that you took the time to listen to them, right? Listen to their troubled day. And you don't have to give advice, but to meet them where they're at and just say, instead of this, it's like the other thing, the thing that happens a lot of times in a relationship is they're having a bad day and they come to you and you're just like, you're ignoring them because you're like, I don't want that bad day on me. I want to have a good day. So like, I'm not going to meet you where you're talking. I'm just going to be ignoring you or being like, yeah, but isn't today great because of the weather outside or whatever. It doesn't make them feel validated, right? So the relationship goes both ways, and you can't make them like you. You can't make them respect you, but you can try to do your part and see where that goes. And if you find success there, then keep doing it. If you don't find success there, then about the only thing you can do is accept that it is what it is. And until they have an epiphany, have some kind of change of heart inside, you're not going to make good ground. And just to say that's how it is and be okay with it and move on. Recognize that your life is caught up in theirs, sure, but who you are doesn't have to be decided by them, and you can decide to be and live out a happy life regardless. It's nice if we can make friends with everybody, but not everybody's going to be our friend. If we can love the people who aren't going to be our friends, that will make life a lot easier for them and for us, and everybody's going to be generally better off. But not everybody's going to love you back. Not in the true form of love. Not in the way that's like, I want for you the best of you, and I'm willing to help you get there, right? Not all of us understand enough to be able to do that. A lot of us are not smart enough to go, I know what's best for you. We just claim that we know what's best for the other person, like we know what we're talking about, but a lot of times we don't. So, and that applies to me too. So my advice can be bad. So my suggestion is, at some point, if you try enough things and it just isn't working out, recognize that it's not your fault. It's not your responsibility. And you can go on and live a happy life. It's not the end of the world, right? But if you can get your parents to open up and share these things with each other, like, because you don't need their approval to live and be happy, right? So that's important to know. You don't need their approval. You can be a happy person without their approval. But it's better to try and strive for that. 100% better to strive for that first, that option first. Like, you're already trying, and I appreciate, and I think it's so awesome that you're trying. I encourage you to keep trying. Try lots of different things. And just know that whatever happens, you did what you could, and you did your best, and that you're amazing for that you put in that effort. But give it your all. Give it your all. I think that I know that it is absolutely doable. What you're trying to achieve can be achieved. But recognize it's not always entirely up to you. Because some people, you just have to accept that they are who they are going to be, and they're not going to change anytime soon. And maybe one day they will. I know that my dad, for example, was like that. He changed as he got older. He changed slowly over time into becoming a more open person and more loving person. So that can absolutely happen. Don't count it out. Just recognize wherever they are right now. If you can't change that, if you can't help them respect you, if you can't provide, if you can't foster a relationship that is conducive to health and wellness and happiness and joy and respect and intimacy and all that, if you can't do that with them, that's okay. It's not your fault. And maybe someday they'll come around, because they very well could. But just remember, your happiness is not dependent upon how they feel about you, or how they accept you, or how they praise you, or if they're proud of you or not. You are your own person. And the things that you do in this world don't need to be credited to you for them to be yours, or for you to be an awesome, amazing person. Because you are already. This very question points that you want to make the world a better place, and that you're trying. And I think that that's the best possible human being you can possibly be, is when that's your aim. So you don't need me saying that for you to be awesome, because you were already awesome before I said anything. So just keep being you. That's what I got. Any final notes from you?
I wanted to say I love what Neon Blue is saying in the chat. She kind of just like put into words what I was trying to say ish,
Mm-hmm.
where sometimes you just have to accept they're a certain way. And like I said, if they're stuck in that way, you're going to be fine. You will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, life will keep going on. The world isn't going to explode because your parent doesn't want to listen to you. And I definitely want to echo the you're your own person. Even if your parents aren't very supportive of you as a person, there's other avenues you can go to. Like, maybe you have like a mentor or a coach, or you have like a nice circle of friends or a partner, and having that support is super awesome. Your support in your life doesn't always have to be from your parents. And I
Mm-hmm.
believe that is all I got.
Lovely. Lovely. Thank you so much, Anonymous. We really appreciate that you took the time to post this in. And a lot of us are in the same boat as you are. So recognize you're not alone, and you're definitely not the only person to experience this. Obviously, you're the only one to experience it in your own personal way, but it's a common problem. Parents, they're children too, and they don't know the best of the world, heads or tails of everything either. So you kind of just are where you are, and I love that you're trying to make the best of it. So keep that up. Do your best. I hope some of the advice that we gave today is useful and is something you can carry out and you can act out. I would again highly recommend reading those 2 books I mentioned before. They are very helpful in how to learn how to interact with people and get to those intimate moments where you actually make changes in each other's hearts. Because that's what you're looking for, right? You're looking for those moments where you can change each other's hearts, that intimacy. And definitely achievable. It requires you to be vulnerable and take a lot of pain for yourself. But if you're willing to go through that, then one way or another, you'll grow a lot from this experience. And hopefully, they'll grow a lot too. Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, the advice is good when I'm taking note of it for my own personal experience.
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
Shout out to the chat. Shout
Thanks,
out to
chat.
Ryan.
Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome. So many. Luckily, we can all relate to this topic almost. We all got parents, basically. Sorry to those who don't, but
sorry
almost
to the
everyone here.
In chat today.
Yeah. Well, luckily, most of us have had parents of some degree or another, guardians, whatever, who do or do not respect us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was very blessed to live in a home where my mom decided she wanted to respect her children. And in doing so, her children were very respectful back to her and stayed in line and tried to make her happy and so on and so forth. So fostering that kind of relationship, if any of you are parents out there or looking to be parents soon or anytime ever in the future, you can foster a great deal of respect from your children if you first give them respect and tell them that you respect them and tell them that you trust them, because they're way more willing to uphold that kind of trust and be trustworthy people if you tell them that you trust them. It makes a huge difference. So, yeah, I guess that's my final note there.
Mm-hmm.
From the blessings of my mom to you guys, because my mom was amazing, and she knows it. She knows it because my
mom wasn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. My friend.
Curses from my mom to Jack.
Curses from my mom's to you guys. Ah, so sweet. That's so loving. My friends were like, dude, your mom is the best mom. Okay, hold on. My mom is the best mom, but if she wasn't my mom, your mom would be the best mom ever. Is what they basically said. And I was like, yeah, I get it. And I know. I was very, very blessed to have such an awesome mom. Even my friends love my mom. So, yeah, my mom, see, Super Neon Blue knows, my mom is amazing. She's such a sweetheart. Okay, we're going to do another topic. I could go on about my mom, but I think it's probably better that we go on to a new topic.
You might summon her. You might.
That's true. And then, well, she's appeared in Don't Worry Wednesday before.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Mm-hmm. And then she yells at me later. She's like, why didn't you say hi to me? And I was like, I didn't see you. I'm so sorry. God, you should look at the chat more. Yeah, she's awesome though. Yeah, she's been in here a few times. My mom is a different problem from my dad. Yeah, my mom and dad are completely different stories.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty common. At least, especially now, especially when most families are divided, it seems. You know, with split parents as opposed to together. You little stinker. My mom likes saying that. That's her worst. That little stinker. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give this topic to you too, so that you can read it. Oh, I already did.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Perfect. Thank you once again, Anonymous. Appreciate the topic, and once again, hope that something that happened in the chat or in our mouths proves to be effective at solving your issues. And now I'm going to pull up the new topic, and you can feel free to read along if you desire. If you don't, you can leave, you jerk.
Well.
No, you can stay.
Yeah.
You can stay.
Get out.
Get out of here, you punk.
We don't like you.
Yeah, little stinker. So, okay. This is from Anonymous as well. It is titled Diet and Exercise, and it reads as follows. How do you stay healthy? Sorry, hold on. How do you stay healthy, diet, and exercise? Okay, that makes sense. How do you stay healthy, diet, and exercise-wise? I feel overwhelmed trying to find healthy recipes and good exercises. It leaves me dejected because I can't seem to take a meaningful step, and I'm stuck in a phase of myself that has left me not feeling like enough. Yeah. All right. Well said. Very well said. Stuck in a phase of myself that left me feeling like not feeling enough. Jeez, left me not feeling like enough. Yeah, I understand that. I think that's quite relatable, and I think this is a topic that a lot of us struggle with. I think maybe potentially all of us, almost. As far as exercise goes and diet, almost all of us have a problem with one of those two. There are very few people, like 0.001% of the world, that has both of those, right? That's how I feel about it. So, personally, I wish Joe were here in my position instead of me, just because I know that he can say a lot, especially on that exercise wise. I on diet, I can say a lot. Um, I've been lucky enough to grow up with a very pretty healthy diet, and a lot of recipes that are healthy and good for you as well. So I can share some of that with you. And but first, I'm gonna step aside here and give it over to Katz because I'm interested in to see what she has to say because it's probably going to be better than anything I have to say. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you've got.
Yeah, this this is the tricky one because me personally, I'm not on a consistent exercise schedule. I don't go to the gym, lift the weights, all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um in regards to exercise, I at least try to make small steps to like stay active so I'm not staying inside all day, typing away at my computer. Um what I like to do is I just like to go outside and just go on a walk, see where it takes me because there's
Mm-hmm.
no pressure to, do, oh, you have to do 20 reps on one side and then 20 reps on the other. Just going outside, walking around. You can maybe do a jog, go on a bike, and I feel like that is a nice place to start. And even if that doesn't lead to a consistent, oh, I'm gonna lift 30-pound weights and then put them over my head and do this whole fancy routine. Even if it doesn't lead to that, you're still getting exercise, you're still getting outside, and you're working your body. So I believe that is a great entrance point.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Um, as far as healthy diet goes, that is very tricky because I was just showing Ryan my bags of pantry food.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I live on right now. I live on my pantry food. Um, and actually, one of the things I am tasked with for the end of this semester is um, helping people who are low income get healthy foods and to figure out how to make this pantry food into something they can use into a more healthy, nutritious meal. Because unfortunately, there are places in the United States, we like to call them food deserts, where there isn't much there. Like maybe they have a McDonald's there, but you can't live on McDonald's. Like,
Not healthy.
I know at least one other person in chat has to be traumatized by like Super Size Me. You can't live off McDonald's. It's not nutritious. It's not healthy. So how can I utilize the resources I have to make something out of it? Whether it's being stuck in a food desert or I don't have enough money to get all this fresh produce and fresh meat. I started working in a meat and produce section. I did not know meat was so expensive. I'll just
Mm-hmm.
be labeling stuff and like $60 for this?
Yeah,
It's
right?
like this big
Jeez.
thing of beef, and I'm like, "Oh, no." It must be hard for our
Mhm.
meat eaters in chat. I am a meat eater. I don't prepare it myself, but I'm a
Hmm.
meat eater. But, um but yes, healthy diet can be tricky. Um, what I like to do is, at least if I am buying stuff at the store, is trying to get at least one fruit, one vegetable, so I can be like, okay, I have this, I can eat this. Um, and that's just me talking on as someone who has a kind of tight budget,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you just don't have the time, don't have the income to completely prepare something, so you make do with what you got. I will pass that over to you, Ryan, because you probably have more to say recipe wise.
Oh gosh. Well, I'll say J-Ho's got some great stuff to be honest. And yeah, you can do a garden. It takes a lot of work. Not a lot of work, not like constant work, but it's not like it's not like having a job. It takes a lot of work to learn. Recently, my wife and I have been doing gardening, mostly her. Um, and she got pretty hard into it and learned all sorts of different stuff. And now we're doing hydroponics, which is that right? Yeah, hydroponics, which is pretty cool, where you could just grow food in water that's slightly treated with the chemicals it needs to grow, and it's very cool. But that is a good way to get food and not have to pay a whole lot for it, but you just have to recognize it's going to take a while to get it. And you have to have space for it, and you have to have sun, and you have to have all these kind of different things, and you got to make sure you got the right plants for your area, and so on and so forth. It's not the easiest, but it does taste amazing. Here's my thoughts on food. I'm also a person that tries to keep things in a low budget, so there's a lot you can do with food. One of the best things you can do is learn to get good with spices. And I don't mean spices as in like the kind that are hot. I just mean all kinds of spices, herbs and spices. If you can get good at knowing how much to use and when to use it and on what, if you can train that area of your appetite and of your mind, you can make anything taste amazing. So that opens up a huge world to you for healthy foods. I know there's a lot of food out there that it's like, this is healthy, and then it tastes like crap. It's like dull, flavorless. It's like, why? And it's so weird because here's the thing. Let's say you put some herbs in there. Guess what? It only gets healthier and tastes amazing. Right? So it's like, why? Yeah, dirt, right? That's kind of what it's like. It's like, why do these healthy dishes taste so bland? I don't understand it, because I know for myself, I can take something, turmeric, that's right, that tastes very bland, like a healthy food, and just like taste it and go, okay, what does this need? It needs a little bit of this, it needs a little bit of that. Like, okay, this needs a little bit of oil because it's not helping, it's not in my mouth very well, right? I'm not tasting it like I should. It tastes almost like there's a barrier of water and then potato, right? So there's like, that's not good. That means I need a little bit of oil. What can I choose? Olive oil is very healthy for you. There's nothing wrong with drinking olive oil. You could drink a glass of olive oil if you wanted to. It's not unhealthy. Olive oil is healthy for you, and it doesn't make you fat. It doesn't make you big, right? So, and you don't need expensive olive oil. You just need some kind of olive oil. You just a little dab of that, and then all of a sudden you can start to feel some flavors come through, and so on and so forth. You might be like, okay, it just needs a little bit of acid in it to make it taste better. That's what it's missing. And you can be like, okay, lemon juice. What's wrong with lemon juice? Nothing. Lemon juice is not going to make you any fatter or any less healthy. Lemon juice is great. It's healthy for you. It's literally lemons. It's good, right? And so, you can increase the acidity. Vinegar, there's nothing wrong with vinegar. It's not going to make you unhealthy. So, and then all the herbs, like I said, you can add herbs and spices. They just, in small amounts, do a huge wonder to your food, and they don't add anything bad to the food. A lot of times what you're going to want to stay away from, obviously, is the sugars. And you don't need sugar to make your food taste good. There are certain things I would say, yeah, you're going to want sugar in order to make that taste good, because it's like literally a dessert or something. But if you're talking about staying healthy and you're wanting healthy recipes, you don't have to rely on sugars for those, right? So what are some things you can do? One of the things I love to do is just take some beef or deer. I like deer, but I don't assume you have that. Take some beef and throw it into a slow cooker with a little bit of with like canned, because it's cheap. You can get canned corn, canned beans, and canned tomatoes, and just slow cook them together with some spices. I add a ton of fennel to mine, so it tastes like this awesome Italian thing. Pepper, a couple of those seasonings like rosemary or whatever, and then you put that in a burrito and you eat it, and then you're just like, dang, this burrito is so good. So good. But like slow cooking stuff, just cook it for like 5, 6, 7 hours. You can make it in the morning, go to work, come back home, and it's ready, and you're just able to enjoy it. And it's amazing. There's a wide degree on what is considered healthy, and I think most things that we eat nutritionally are healthy. But there is a point where, let's say you're eating tomatoes, like for example, if you buy certain tomatoes, you'll find that they're like 60% less nutritious for you than other brands of tomatoes. So that's stuff you have to look up, and usually the ones that are healthy for you are more expensive because they're packed with nutritions. In other words, they're not mass produced, and what do you call? They're not hybrid tomatoes that are only made to survive both against bugs and then also their long journey of getting hit and tossed around through transport all the way to your grocery store, and then are still nice looking once they're in the grocery store. A lot of that takes some engineering, and that's what takes a lot of the nutrients out. And so a lot of the common tomatoes that you can get, whether they're canned or not, they're kind of low in nutrition value. And that applies to almost all foods across the board. All of the grains, all of the tomatoes, all of the potatoes, all of the corns, all of that, right? And so it's if you want to eat highest nutrition per item, you can try to buy expensive stuff and eat only a small amount. But if that's not doable, then you have to eat a lot amount of the less nutritious stuff to get the same amount of nutrition from them, right? And so one of the problems I think that we see is we go like, okay, then I want the high quality stuff. But then you eat as much as you would of that high quality thing as you needed to of the low quality thing, right? And so you're kind of wasting money, and you're just adding a lot of stuff to your body that you don't need. And so eating less but higher nutrition is probably the best route. But what are the recipes for that? I mean, obviously, you could make a salad and just, I wouldn't go with the bottled. If you're making like a salad or something and you're trying to eat healthy, I wouldn't go with the bottled dressings. Those are usually pretty unhealthy. They usually have quite a bit of sugar in them and other added chemicals to make them look nice or increase a certain mouthfeel. Instead, I would just make your own. Just buy. You can get it cheaper if you don't buy the bottled dressings. You can spend less by buying all of the ingredients for the bottled stuff, like that you would actually want. So like the vinegars and the oils, the olive oil, whatever, and then put that right on your salad. You're gonna be like, it tastes better, and it costs less. It just takes more time to prepare. And so I would say, a fun fact: most sauces in America are mayo based. Thanks, Jeho. So that's my opinion on eating healthy. Recipes, you can almost do anything. You can get away with almost anything if you learn your spices, and you can make anything taste good. Because I'm sure what you're running into. I'm guessing you say healthy recipes. You're trying to find healthy recipes that are doable and that probably taste good. Honestly, I mean, you can just eat a carrot. But here's the thing. Carrots, as they are uncooked, have a certain nutritional value, but they will wreck your digestive system. Cooked carrots will have less nutritional value, but they'll be really easy on your digestive system. So that's important because your digestive system is what absorbs all of the nutrition. So if you need a healthy digestive system. If you don't have that, then your body's going to be out of whack. You're going to be absorbing things in bad quantities, and it's not going to be pretty, right? You're going to feel not so great. Your energy levels, your aches and pains and everything else. So, yes, you can eat things that they're at maximum health properties, which is raw. But again, I wouldn't actually recommend it. I would highly recommend cooking it, whatever it is, because it's easier to digest, and your digestive system is where you get all of your nutrition through. It's how all your nutrition is soaked in through your intestines and so on and so forth. So, yeah, cook your food most of the time. I mean, there are things you can eat raw and be happy with that. There are, but generally speaking, your digestive system is going to do better on cooked food. As human beings, we learn to cook food, and we've been doing that for thousands of years, and that's kind of what best works. A little bit of cooked food. Meat, really healthy for you, by the way. Eat meat. Don't give that up. As much as it might be expensive, it's great for you. Human bodies are attuned to meat consumption, and I've seen a lot of people now go on just diets that are pure meat and receive great benefits from it. I'm not suggesting that you do that. It's very expensive, but a lot of people lose weight off of that, or at least get to a size where they're healthy. And they start gaining muscle mass, which is better for you than the alternative, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, meat is very good. It's not high in sugar. It's not high in anything that's bad for you. There are certain people that say that red meat is bad for you, and so on and so forth. So it might not be for everybody, but it's something worth looking into. Not everybody's body works the same. So seeing a dietitian about this might be better than seeing us. I would say it is better than seeing us, but not everybody's body works the same. So some of it you're going to have to experiment with. That's so I rambled on for a really long time about nothing, I felt like, but as for recipes, I mean, if you're struggling to find healthy recipes, I question what you mean by that. Because I know you can go online and just look up healthy recipe this, healthy recipe that, and they'll be there for you. Like, I want to eat healthy cookies, and then they'll give you healthy cookie recipes. But doesn't mean that they'll be any good. So my suggestion is, do what you know is healthy and is making you feel well. If you eat a salad with chicken in the morning and you feel great all day because of it, that's telling you something. If you eat a salad with chicken in the morning and you feel awful all day because of it, it's telling you something, right? And so be conscious of what you're eating and see how you feel throughout the day. See how your body's responding. If you're trying to lose weight, you don't want yourself to also feel sick in order to do so, because then you're losing your energy, which is awful. It's not healthy. So eat what you know is healthy for you, and just study the spices. Go to the grocery store, pick up some oregano, sweet marjoram, rosemary, whatever. Just look around, see what's in your grocery store. Buy a couple of different spices. They're not too expensive. They should be about $3 to $5, and or less actually. There should be nothing more than $5. It comes in a little, you've seen them, and just play around with them. Taste them on things. Pay attention when you're if you ever go to a restaurant, pay attention if you like something, what's in it. Yeah. So just experiment, and it's okay to experiment. And if you experiment enough, you'll kind of get intuition, just like, okay, this needs that. Like this needs an acid, or this needs a brighter herb flavor because it is being drowned by this muddied, heavy flavor that just tastes dull, And so you kind of get a grasp for what is good, and that should solve a lot of your recipes. Then you can make about any recipe and make it taste good without adding anything bad to it, because it's just healthy herbs and spices that are generally good for your body anyways. Sorry. To sum it up, there you go. Kaz, did you have anything else on this? I didn't touch on exercise at all because it's not right for me to do so.
Like I said about exercise, sometimes you just need to go out. You need to get outside. J-Ho made an awesome point of having a friend to go with. Like, if you want to make sure you're going to the gym consistently, or you're going outside consistently, like, buddy up with someone and be like, hey, let's go to gym on all these days, and we can keep each other accountable. Super fun. You get to bond with your friend, and you get your exercise in.
Yeah, I love that.
As far as the food goes, when we're looking at meat, pork and chicken are, like, a lot less expensive than, like, beef. So if you're looking for a protein to add, chicken and pork are some good options.
Hmm.
Um, when you're
Personally, I
looking
stay away
for
from pork,
recipes,
depending where you live.
yes, and some religions, don't eat pork.
That's true.
Disregard what I said if you do not eat pork for your religion.
Mm.
Um, my gym buddy is a pain.
Yes.
I think that's their job. Their job is to be a pain and to make you do the work.
Yeah.
So, I was on to something else. What was I gonna say? Oh, if you're looking for, like, healthy recipes that are, like, easy to jump into, honestly, just a Google search. That's how I get my recipes. I'll be
Yeah.
like, "I kinda wanna try this and this, but I wanna see, like, what are other people doing? What can I learn from them?" And one thing I did learn is marinating meats. It doesn't take too much effort. You just make the mixture, put it in the bag, like, put it in your fridge, and
Mhm.
then you just cook it. Which originally I thought, like, getting meat to have, like, more flavor was, like, all this work, and you have to do this and do all that stuff. It doesn't take that much effort to make your meat taste good.
That's a good
Um,
point. Yeah, you could just put your meat in a bag and then just throw some soy sauce in there and call it a day. Just throw it in the refrigerator.
yeah,
Come back later.
and, one of the awesome things I realized about, vegetables and working in the produce section, if you're worried about vegetables, like, you just buy the raw vegetable and you're like, "Okay, I'll figure out how to prepare this." Sometimes the grocery stores will have them, like, already cut up, already prepared. So, like, if you're not sure about that aspect, you can just get it cut up. Normally, the price hike isn't too bad, but,
Hmm.
like, getting a regular green onion is, like, about a dollar or so for a
Mhm.
bunch of them, and then you can get it cut up for, like, $1.50.
Mm.
So if you're like, "I don't know if I should cut this green onion, maybe I'll cut my hand and it'll hurt and ouch."
Mm.
Frozen vegetables, those are also super awesome. Don't underestimate frozen vegetables because those are, like, just super easy to steam. Throw them in whatever, your stir fry, put it on the side, put some seasoning on it. They're super awesome to work with.
Mm.
Don't refreeze items, also great advice. If you're buying meat, this is something my, dad used to do all the time. He'd get the markdown meats because you can save your money and still, like, get some meat that's still edible. Freeze it, and then thaw it when the time comes. Markdowns, super awesome if you're on a tight budget.
Mm.
And I believe that is all I have to add.
Yeah, I like this final comment. Don't eat processed foods and drinks. Agreed. Obviously, avoid processed foods. I would say there's a lot of stuff out there that's processed that's unhealthy for you. Anything that's processed is usually unhealthy. Um, it's just your body. It's very hard. It's very hard for your body to digest something that's processed already. Usually, cooking is a process, right? And that makes it easier to digest. But like basically, when you cut things down into incredibly fine particles, they do some weird stuff, man. They crystallize. They become very hard for your body to incorporate into itself. So, yeah, if you can avoid process, that's good. Yeah. Oh yeah, my body, my body is a machine that turns processed foods into tummy aches. Yeah. Yep.
My
I agree
body
with that.
turns cheese and milk into tummy aches.
I'm sorry. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. Oh,
I mean,
I
I
will say
it doesn't stop me.
doesn't stop me. Oh yeah, yum. I love cheese and milks and all that kind of stuff. That's great. There's probably dairy in almost everything I eat and everything I cook. Just a little
Mhm.
bit. Doesn't need much. Just a little bit of dairy goes a long way. Um, I will speak on the behalf of Joe since Joe isn't here. There are exercises you can do if you don't want to go to the gym and you're the kind of person that likes counting reps. Because I'll tell you what, there are people out there who do like that. They like that struggle of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're like at 24 and they're like, I said I was gonna get to 30. I'm at 24, I can make it. And they push themselves. And if you're that kind of person, that's awesome. If you're not, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of exercises you can do at home without having to pay anything. In fact, you can work every area of your body without having to go to a gym. I forget what it's called, something calisthenics. If you want more information, Anonymous, go talk to Joe. He knows all of that information. And also, on terms of diets, also speaking for Joe, eat a lot of animal fat mostly just animal fats. Eat a lot of fats. Because fats are good for your body.
Cheese.
And squeezed cheese. Squeezed cheese is really healthy. Okay, that is not true. Don't eat squeezed cheese, but eat a lot of fats because...
Whoa.
What? Well, okay, Joe isn't here.
You can't say that.
Joe isn't here.
Say
I
that.
can say whatever I want.
I'm telling Joe. I'm telling on you.
Okay, well, I'll unsay it. All right. What did I say? Eating squeezed. What did I say? What did I say? Tell me what I said so that I can unsay it. Eating squeezed cheese is unhealthy.
You said, yeah.
Squeezed cheese is unhealthy. Okay, squeezed cheese is unhealthy. It's going to get shit. Something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
That was probably it. You can rewind it later and find out I did not get it at all. And so I probably said something awful like I eat light bulbs with steak. And and so anyways, eating fats is really healthy for you. Avoid all sugars if you can. And that's what Joe has to say. For sure.
Yeah. He's sending you like radio waves in your brain right now.
Animal fats are ready digestible goodness. You put fat on your own body because your body's storing that to be consumed later. And it's readily consumable. That's the point of it. It's readily consumable, easy to incorporate into your system, and just great on energy. Other animals have that too, and we can consume their fat the same way we can consume our own. So if you eat their fat, you will be healthy, full of energy, and so on and so forth. That's what Joe told me to say, so I said it for you. I'm not a dietitian, and neither is Joe, but there's truth to that, for sure. Logically, it makes sense. So, there you go. That's all we got. Oh, that's all I have.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Okay, great. If you want some recipes, some healthy recipes, you can DM me, and I can try to share some stuff, or we can look up stuff together. I don't mind that at all, Anonymous. And if you want my Discord, it's static p. That's it. It's static p, no hyphen. It's written. Hold on. Static. Okay. Just like that. Is there an @ in front of it or no? I don't remember on Discord.
I think you just type it in. I mean, if there is an @ then they can just figure that out.
Okay. Yeah, there may or may not be an @ in front. I don't know how Discord works there, but there it is, static P. Not a big fan of the government, though. Yeah, that's true. Don't trust. If you want to get healthy, don't trust
the government. 30 on 30.
the government. Yeah. Ooh. Talking about thermodynamics. That's my stuff. We obey
The thing
the
is,
law.
he said he obeys the laws.
No, we OA.
Obeys the laws. Away.
We away.
I don't know what you mean by does he know chat?
Does he know chat? Does he know chat?
Does he know chat? Chat, are you familiar with Static P? He's a little indie, a little underground.
Oh man. Well, I'm getting to know chat. Is that a good enough answer? Geo lifts iron. Geo, since you lift iron, can you take my spot and talk about this exercise part? They said, how do you stay healthy? Diet and exercise wise. Wow. I feel overwhelmed trying to find healthy recipes and good exercises. So, how do you confront the overwhelmedness of good exercises? I guess that's something we didn't really talk about, and we probably should. How do you deal with something that's overwhelming? That's probably the better topic to go off of here, since we have time. And we don't have any other topics. By the way, guys, if you have any topics, please submit it to don'tworrywednesday.com, since that's the place. Or you can put it here.
Unfortunately, our live stream is too effective, and people are not worrying anymore. We need you guys to worry more.
Yeah. Could you guys get some...
if you don't give us worries next week, we have to change it around, change it to a Worry Wednesday.
Worry Wednesday.
With, existential dread.
You know what? You might be right about that.
Yeah.
You might be right. We might have to do a Worry Wednesday next week because we don't have any topics. If you guys don't give us one, then we're going to have to just sit there with that.
We're just going to have to sit there and say stuff until you guys are worried again.
Yeah. Are y'all saying you're out of topic? Yes, we are.
Yes.
This was our last topic until Yozoa gets back. I guess we could talk about mashed potatoes. Flan, hey, welcome.
I love mashed potatoes so much.
You love mashed potatoes. Well, that's
I knew a stat P once. We played D&D for a while.
Oh, snap. We did. We actually did. That was great.
Say something. Starting out, you're a beginner. If you decide to start working out, treat yourself like one. Don't overstress your body by working out every day. Start light, then increase intensity as it goes on.
Perfect, Gio. You make your muscles in the gym, you maintain them in the kitchen. I love that. Gio, dang, you should be up on this stage here. Dang, that was good.
Yeah,
that was smooth.
This is your stream now. We're gonna send you the password and the email for the channel. And
just talk.
You'll be all set.
Wow, that was perfect. So there you go, Anonymous. If you're having struggles, do what Gio does. I would say that if you're feeling overwhelmed, that's normal and okay. And recognize that you're a beginner. I really like that. Just recognize that you're a beginner. You're not a muscle builder. Don't try to be one. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Just go, hey, what I'm gonna do every day is just go for a walk. That's where I'll start. Because honestly, that's a great start. And eventually maybe you'll decide you want to go on jogs, or you want to, you might actually want to go to the gym. I'll tell you what's awesome. There are some things that you can do. If you sign yourself up for something, you're a lot more willing to do it. You're a lot more likely to do it. So I would say sign yourself up for attending, perhaps swimming. Like you could go swimming every week and build some good muscles there. You can go ice skating every week and build some good muscles doing that. I honestly have so much fun ice skating. It's one of my favorite physical activities. And if you wanted to try to train to be a good ice skater, you would build a lot of core muscles. You'd get a workout while having a lot of fun. But if you don't like ice skating, you could do swimming. If you don't like swimming, you could do, track. If you don't like that, you can try, I don't know.
Stay inside, play video games.
Racquetball. You could. Oh, my mom loved racquetball.
Racquetball's so much fun.
You could learn all sorts of different things. There's these gyms. Is it racquetball where you have a net and then there's just a wall on the other side, and then you hit it and you try to make sure you keep on. I don't know what that's called. But anyways, you can go to a gym and they give you a racket and a ball, and then there's a wall in front of you in the distance, and you just hit it at the wall and it comes back to you over and over and over. And you do that for like 30 minutes and it's fun and you have a blast and you sweat and you're like, dang, I exercised. Honestly, that kind of workout is compelling and it's exciting and it gets you engaged in a way that's like, I want to do that. I want to keep going. It's not like, oh, just 33 more of these. Oh, it's so painful. It's like, oh, I'm excited. Let's go. I'm having fun, right? So if you're feeling overwhelmed getting your exercise in, I would highly suggest doing activities that are fun to you rather than trying to do exercises that are painful. Now, I think some amount of pain is good to experience, but um, and if you really want to build your muscles up, then you're going to want to do some serious exercises. But if you're looking to lose weight, I would recommend just doing something that's physically active and fun. Um, a lot of weight problem comes from eating, usually eating too much. We eat too much for our own bodies. A lot of us, we're trained to in the West. Actually, in the East, they do it as well, but not as much. Um, a lot less in the East. But we can get a lot farther on food than we expect ourselves to. You can have a one meal a day diet, and you would be fine. You could live off of that and for the rest of your life, one meal a day. In fact, that's how the Romans did in their time. The Romans ate one meal a day. That is it, one meal a day. And the Romans thrived. They were a thriving civilization. At one point in the world, they took over literally just probably the largest landmass of any civilization ever. Maybe a little bit less than Persia. I'm not sure which one was bigger, the Persian dynasty or the Roman dynasty. I don't know my history well enough. But with that in mind, the Romans did that on one meal a day. The Romans took over an insane amount of land and had a government that ran and did all sorts of architecture. It did toilets and all that kind of stuff, plumbing, so on and so forth. They did a ton on one meal a day. Now, is that going to be comfortable for you? Probably not, because your body's so used to 3 meals a day. There's no way that would be comfortable for you. Your body's so used to 3 meals a day, you would never be able to do 1 meal a day, not in probably a month or 2 months or 3 months. But I'll tell you what, if you did 1 meal a day for an entire year, by the end of that year, you'd be like so accustomed to it. You'd be like, I don't think I could fit 2. I don't think I could do that. Seriously. So I only say this to help you feel good about it's okay to reduce the amount you take in. It's not going to be comfortable. You might not feel like you have as much energy, but eventually it'll be the norm and you will feel like you have enough energy and you'll be happy. So a major problem with healthiness is the amount that we eat. We eat way too much for our own good. I mean, as humans, we started out as like hunters and gatherers, right? And we had to hunt for that food. It wasn't just readily available. We couldn't eat 3 meals a day. Are you kidding? We would eat throughout the day, just little bits of berries and things like that. But yeah, we eat 3 large meals a day now. That's insane to me. But we do it, and I'm a part of it. Yeah.
Don't do girl dinners.
Girl dinner? What is a girl
Carrot and
dinner?
2 almonds sounds like it's like this whole meme thing where it's like, "Oh yeah, girl dinner," and it's like the worst possible meal. Like,
Oh,
1
no.
carrot and 2 almonds is an example of that. Or like maybe your girl dinner is like 1 cookie.
What?
Don't girl dinner.
What?
1
What?
cookie, it's a
That's
treat.
yeah, that's hilarious. I ate 1 flan a day, and that's how flan stays healthy. Well, a flan does as flan does. I think that's the right move for you.
Awesome
Please,
advice,
girl
Gio.
dinners, gosh.
You'll lose a pound a week if you eat 100 calories less than your maintenance calories.
Hmm. See, Gio needs to be in this business up here because he actually knows what he's talking about, or she, whoever. You can call yourself whatever. I'm just
That is
saying.
actually my partner. That is my partner in gym.
Okay, great,
Please
great.
eat your iron.
Eat iron.
Don't lift your iron, eat your iron.
No, I thought you were supposed to lift iron. We're eating iron? Oh my gosh.
Yes,
My bad.
after you lift it.
My bad. Wait,
My
so
bad.
that's your partner. Do they want to come in here and just like preach for the next 15 minutes about how to lift and
That's
eat
on
healthy?
you, Gio.
They're more than welcome. I'm just going to require one thing.
Yeah.
Gio will not be visible, but you will be mouthing every word he says.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, we can do that? All right, good.
That's perfect. I need that filling 1 piece of popcorn. He says, "Be my puppet."
Yes.
Hold on. Do I need
Sure,
to?
I'll join. Okay, you can go ahead and invite them. The camera will definitely get wacky, so bear with me. Oh. Yep. Well, she left the call, so I'm here. Here's the top half of me and the lower half of me put in the wrong order. You're welcome. How do you like just my mouth? This is weird. Here we go.
Okay, we got.
Oops, hold on. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix this.
Hold on. Should I turn my camera on?
Yeah.
Coming on.
All right, there we go. I gotta pop that chat out. Boom. All right. Well, everything is in disarray now. If I go to here, nope, that's still.
It's fine.
We got me. Only I am correct here. You guys suffer, whatever this is. I'm Haley. Hi. So, okay. Gio, take it away. The stage is yours. Tell us how to exercise and eat healthy, especially under the circumstances where everything is overwhelming.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I fell into this mistake early on. I want to say a couple years ago. I just tried doing everything all at once, which wasn't healthy for my body and my mental in the long run. Essentially, you just want to take it one step at a time. Because if you try to leap forward, you're just going to end up falling backwards. I've seen too many people go through that. I've been through that myself. So, starting off small, well, what is that, It's pretty much whatever you want it to be. You want to eat less? Eat less. You want to work out just a couple days more? Then do that. You don't have to take these giant leaps forward when starting out. Sure, if you want to be a competitor one day and get all those big muscles, go for it. But starting out, you want to get healthy. You want to build that foundation so you can get pillars up. That's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Very straightforward and smooth, if you will.
But yeah, let me open up chat here in case there's any specific questions. For me personally, you take a month at a time. That was my approach. So I would start out running 3 days, maybe 4. And then after I got a bit more accustomed, I would just go to the gym and set up a workout routine. I would recommend starting off like 4 days. 4 days in your week. So split it up full body, whatever you want, whatever is easiest. It is your workout journey. No one can tell you how to lose weight or how to improve yourself. Losing your weight might not be your goal. Might just be to get stronger. You don't let anyone else define what you're trying to do. Let me get this open. There we go.
Here we go.
We go.
I was gonna say, Ryan, so he's messaging you.
That's thank you. Thank you.
Warming up, just honestly, get a couple stretches in and just run. Run until you're like, I don't want to do this no more. And then just go back. And that's the way I do it. I don't particularly like running, but I'll do it because I know that's going to benefit me the most in the long run. So 2 feet.
Imagine Ryan is chasing you.
Imagine Ryan is chasing you.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
On all fours.
You will have to outrun him.
I am a masterful bear crawler. So all fours is you'll be scared. You'll be terrified. Like, how's he going so fast? I used to have actually bear races when I was a little kid with other people, and I'd always win. I don't know why.
I do that going up the stairs of my old house, and then inevitably
great.
just.
Oh my gosh, it's so relatable. So relatable. I haven't done that in years, but it's so relatable.
It's like some primal urge. I can't explain it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I'm a wide person, skeletal wise, and also fairly heavy. If you're like a bigger person, cardio will be your best friend. If your end goal, I'm not saying if your end goal is to lose weight, but if you do want to take steps towards that, quite literally taking steps, running, yeah. But yeah, running or any cardio work, you can do like 20 minutes walking, like speed walking on a treadmill. That is great. It also tracks your calories, so that's really handy. It's really good. Do it your way. Just whatever you feel like is helping you the most, I would pursue it.
Just like Burger King.
Mm. Do it your way, just like Burger King, but don't go to Burger King.
Yeah.
Don't go to
Don't
Burger
go to
King.
Burger King.
Yeah, if your way is well, here's the thing. Yeah, if your way is running to the Burger King and grabbing a burger, I mean, at least you got the exercise, but the burger might not be good for you.
Okay, if you are craving fast food, biggest recommendation I can give, just get a naked chicken breast sandwich that you don't even have to eat the bread. You can eat like one piece of the bread. But if you're craving just something fast food, something like, I don't feel like cooking, chicken gonna be your best friend, or salmon, any fish. I don't particularly eat fish, but it is very protein and nutrient dense.
Yeah, that's well said. You're
And you could probably buy a bulk of like the chicken patties at the store, just like a frozen bulk of them. So when you're feeling fast food, just pop that in a microwave or an oven or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It'd probably be
Yeah.
a little bit cheaper than constantly running to McDonald's saying, "Give me all your McChickens."
Oh
For
my
sure.
gosh, if we were talking about cheapness, oh my gosh, you can save so much money
McChicken.
by just shopping at a grocery store and making your stuff yourself.
Mhm.
It's going to be healthier,
Looking for
tasting
alternatives.
better, and yeah.
Yeah. Cooking, I remember you guys talking about it earlier. Cooking would definitely be your best friend. I learned how to cook. I didn't know anything coming into like living on my own. It was like, okay, I better start taking care of my body. So that was the biggest proponent of me trying to live more healthy. Just cooking and steaming vegetables. How can I be the laziest guy while also cooking good meals? So take shortcuts, steam, just pan fry. Make sure you season. Please season your food. For the love of God, please. You will thank yourself later.
Boiled chicken.
Yeah.
I see so many things online of like they're big gym bros, right? But they will eat like they are in an insane asylum, just the same plain chicken and
Yeah.
broccoli with a little bit of salt.
Yeah.
A little bit of salt as a treat.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you can get good with spices, you can make anything taste good. It doesn't matter what you buy. Like, get the healthiest things you know, and you can make them taste like amazing.
For sure. McDonald's is no longer cheap. I know a lot of fast food places. They got rid of the $5 value box from Taco Bell. I am never letting that go. We used to be a
I think they
proper
made it an
society.
online
A proper
exclusive,
society.
which is crazy. I hate
Online, really?
programs.
Dang.
Not a big fan of the government.
30 on 30.
Yeah.
30 on 30. 30 on 30.
Down with the government, etc.
Down with the
The food
government.
costs are too high, etc.
The McChicken's $2. We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really want to be eating fast food. But if you do, my biggest advice, keep it in your calories. Calories are king at the end of the day.
You are
It's-
king.
I am king.
Literally, that's literally your icon right now.
It quite is. I do love Tekken.
That's
Anyone plays
great,
Tekken
yeah.
in here, please fight me. I am looking for people to fight.
I used
Anyways.
to play Tekken, but like all I see, here's the thing. I play Brian, and
Ooh.
there's this, if I remember correctly, it's down, roll to back, and then high kick. Anyways, we could do this like somersault sort of thing through the air and land, and wherever he lands, it does damage. OP, overpowered, because you just back up and then do that over and over. My brother hated it. He didn't like playing the game with me, and it often broke out into from like fighting in the video game to fighting in reality for him, and he would hit me with the controller.
Oh
So-
no.
So I stopped playing
We're getting
Tekken.
the Ryan lore.
I stopped
Oh,
playing
my
Tekken
goodness.
after enough physical violence. And but King, man,
Oh,
King's a good one because he just
yeah.
King is frustrating
Um,
though because like he just holds you and you can't do anything for a while. So you're like, well, now I gotta
Yep.
wait for this to be over.
My friends will complain. I'm like, how do I get out of it? And I'll just respond, just tech it, man. You press the button, you got 4 options. Press one of them. Maybe you'll
Figure
get
it
out,
out.
maybe you won't. Who knows?
That's funny.
Ryan is a spammer, bro. Oh my god.
I didn't.
Jeho thinks you deserved that controller to the head.
Yeah, I wasn't. But wait, is it a skill spam when you spam one skill over and over? No, because the other one's a button masher. Yeah, so I was a spammer. But like, there were certain characters like who's the guy that does dance moves? Eddie, is that right?
That is Eddie Gordo.
Eddie Gordo, yep, that's it. Eddie Gordo, I mean, you can just button mash with him and win. Like, you can just push any series of buttons and you win. It's amazing.
It's
That's
so
true.
much
That's
fun.
how I won my first Tekken match.
That's see?
You did,
Yeah.
against my friend.
That's it.
Yeah, like
Literally.
Gio had to go take care of the dogs or something. He was like, "Hey, can you just like finish this match for me?" And I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing." He gave me the little fancy fighting gamepad, and I just started hitting all the buttons, and I just beat his friend.
That's amazing. Way to go. And flan, to answer your question, should you season your flan with sugar, spice, and everything nice? I absolutely believe you should.
I
If
think
you're
you
having
should put
flan, you
vinegar
go all
on it.
out. Vinegar.
Put vinegar on it and salt,
Yeah. And so
cinnamon.
Is that a thing? Really?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No. I
Oh.
think she's trying to get flan to taste like French fries because they're both yellow.
I would have definitely tried it if it wasn't.
Well, now you gotta try it.
I gotta try. I gotta know. I don't know if it was a bit or not, but
You're
either
gonna
way,
send me a message at like 3 a.m. and be like, "Guess what I just did?"
it is actually kind of good.
I know you were joking, but guess what I just did?
That's me. I so do that kind of thing too. I like to experiment a lot.
Where you're like, "Oh yeah, I knew you were joking, but I want to try it."
Totally.
Yeah,
It-
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I won't knock anything till I try it once. You know how it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good sentiment to move forward through all of your life with. Except for sin. Don't really need to try that.
Sin.
Just sin.
I am constantly sinning.
Sin.
Aw, man.
Oh, what is a man?
You
Anyways,
miserable pile of
I love secrets.
Awesome. Well, it is currently now 1 p.m. for me. I don't know what time it is for you guys, but it is the end of Don't Worry Wednesday
10:01.
time. 10:01? Oh, great. Now we got to wait another 23 hours and 59 minutes. Okay, well, you're
Yep.
stuck with us now, Gio, for the long run.
All right.
Run.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh
cool.
my goodness. All right.
We'll
Hi.
send
Got
you
one
the
more in
password
me.
later.
Yeah, well, I should wrap it up, though. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Gio, for coming on and just random short notice and explaining that topic in a better way than I could. That's for sure.
Anytime.
I have very little experience with that kind of stuff. I mean, I have experience with similar things, but not exercise. I should do that more. I've done a bit of that. I like squats. Squats are my thing. I actually enjoy squats, but that's
They're
like
so
the only one
good.
I enjoy.
I know Joe was going crazy. He was like posting his progress in the pleb place. It was very, very good.
Yeah, Joe is awesome. I mean, he likes to do exercises. He does HIIT stuff, so he like goes all out until he can't move, and then he moves again. and then he enjoys the rest of his day, which I don't understand how you do that. But
It's therapeutic in a sense. But anyways, I'll let you finish.
yeah, no, I believe you. I appreciate that response. I didn't have anything beyond that. So yeah, I believe it is therapeutic. People say that exercise really helps them. Like, yeah, even going for a long walk really does just kind of clear the mind and make things calculate better. So
Mhm.
I'm sure if you hit that even harder, it's even clearer and more calculatable.
Yeah, it like for me, it's not just oh yeah, I want to get outside. Like that helps me a lot with anxiety. Just going outside, taking a walk,
Mm.
just wash it all away.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And it's
bet.
cheaper than a lobotomy.
Then
Uh-huh.
I'm like, what?
Was that the alternative? Was that the alternative? I didn't know that. Holy crap.
Take
I
a
feel like there are
walk
more
or
options
get a
here.
lobotomy.
Wow.
My goodness.
Yeah, no wonder this person is here's the thing. Like if you're overwhelmed with trying to find healthy recipes and good exercise, just think of the alternative. I mean, Lobotomy.
One or two
Lobotomy.
choices here. I mean, one takes less effort than the other.
Yeah.
Healthy meal. Lobotomy.
No, no.
Oof. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you both for being on here. Thank you, Cats, for joining us and taking place for Joe.
No problem.
Really appreciate that. And yeah, this was a great Don't Worry Wednesday. We hope you all had a lot of fun and also that it was thought-provoking and advantageous on your life and well-being over the next week. We hope to see you next week as well. So thanks for joining us. And also thank you for posting in the chat. You guys had a lot of really useful, helpful, great things to say in the chat. Both for, I'm sure, the anonymous questioner and myself, and apparently Cats too. So yeah. So thank you guys. You're all so awesome. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.